What is that?
I wanted a drink. I wanted a drink. What drink? Anything cold. I appreciate. Thank you very much.
Pepsi?
Pepsi? Wait.
There is a corn.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. Even that. Even that. So, yeah. Yeah. Yes, I want to talk about this, and I hope after this broadcast, you'll be satisfied. I want to really answer. I want to answer some of the questions that you have been having. A lot of people have spoken about this issue, but mostly a lot of people have been wondering why Faith Musonda was not prosecuted. Now, it's good. Okay. Yeah. Let me see. Oops. Yeah. But start with that to finish it off. Let me. Okay. Cool. Thank you, my wife. Achitayari na iwe kazikamba. Let me take my time. I'm the one. I'm the one with information. Anyway, so let me tell this. Let me give you, if you like, my theory. If you like my theory, because I don't want anyone to start following me up and saying whatever. But look, let's go back. When Faith Musonda went to police, okay, first of all, when the money was found, next there was that silence where Faith, was alleged to have been on the run. After some time, we heard from the lawyers to say, no, she's not on the run. And these were Makebi Zulu. And they even went to police. When they went to police, remember, Faith was not arrested. They went to the police, by the way. They first went to Force Headquarters. Force Headquarters, they were referred to Central Police. Then they asked that they are given some time. They are given some time to come back and answer the questions from the police. I think that happened on a Tuesday. They were given Wednesday, and they went back on Thursday afternoon. That interview took about 8.5 hours, if you remember. That interview took about 8.5 hours. The following day, and when they came out, the lawyers or the police, they never said anything, if you remember very well. The lawyers or the police, they never said anything. We got some speculations here and there that Faith did not say anything in that interview, that they asked her a number of questions, but she did not respond. Now, let us be critical here. Let us be clear. No, baby. Go to mommy. Go. Pass. Baby, get her. Come on. You're pulling the cable, baby. Okay, bye, baby. Bye. Bye, baby. Close that door for me, sorry. I know some people get upset when Kia comes around and they say, no, Kia, whatever. Come on. Family comes first. So, I was saying, in that long interview, which took about 8.5 hours, later on, some people were saying, no, Faith did not say anything. They were asking her questions, but she did not respond. Now, let us be critical here. Do you think an interview would take all those hours if Faith Musonda never said anything? Do you think that, 8.5 hours, can somebody, can somebody, baby, just go. Take her. So, do you think really, if Faith in that interview said nothing, do you think it would have taken them that long? Do you think it is possible to have an interview with somebody you are asking questions and he's not saying anything, and you take 8.5 hours? It's not possible. It's not possible. In that interview, Faith actually did disclose where the money came from. She did disclose where the money came from. And remember, that is why lawyers were given time to organize themselves so that they can come and respond to the questions of the police. And indeed, she answered the questions which the police put across. She answered the questions. She answered. After that interview, it went quiet. The police never said anything. The lawyers never said anything. The only thing that the lawyer said is that we have made progress. We have made progress. But he never said anything further. And the police never said anything till today. I am sure we all can agree on this one, that the police have never issued, they have never issued any statement relating to Faith. Never. They have not issued. The question is, why didn't the police give a statement? Why didn't the police disclose the details of that investigations? Why didn't they? They went quiet. And yet, some of you keep on, speculating here and there and whatever. But think critically. Why didn't the police disclose where that money came from? And then, from there, let's move. What happened next? Next, we got a statement. A statement from where? From the Anti-Corruption Commission. Now, you see, the case was being handled at the Central Police. And all of a sudden, you come and hear a statement coming from the Anti-Corruption Commission. That is where the statement came from. The statement came from the Anti-Corruption Commission. When did the police come off it, and when did the Anti-Corruption Commission come in and issue that statement? And the statement was very simple. Very, very simple. They never talked about where the money came from. They simply said Faith has admitted the charge and she has fulfilled the conditions for her, to be released using Article 80. Is it Article 80 or Section 80 of the Anti-Corruption Commission? No details. They never gave the details of where the money came from. They never gave the details. Nothing. They just said she has admitted, the charge of being, in possession of property believed to be a proceeds of crime. That's all. Proceeds believed to be proceeds of crime. That's all. They never said where that money came from. They never said which bank. No details. And some people have been calling to say, why should you, after recovering so much money, why shouldn't Faith be prosecuted? Why shouldn't she be prosecuted? Imagine if that money, imagine if that money was stolen in an armed robbery. Imagine, money is being carried in a truck, and then criminals stop that truck and they steal that money. Do you think those criminals will be released or will not go to jail because they have surrendered the money and they have forfeited the guns and the cars they were using? Do you think that would happen? Do you think if that money was stolen in the manner that Gondwe? What is her name? Pamela Gondwe. Do you think Pamela Gondwe would come to our country today with that money, with the money, whichever money she took, and said, here, I've come back, here is the money, I want to give it back, I admit the crime? Do you think Pamela Gondwe would be released in the same way that Faith has been let go? Do you think Faith, as we speak, is a convict? Do you think Faith, as we speak, is a convict? So, what is the story? What is the story behind this? Why government has conspicuously kept quiet about Faith? This is a government that is fighting corruption. Here is a government that has vowed to prosecute people who are involved in criminality. How is it that this issue of so much money, this is not small money we are talking about, it's a lot of money. How is it that this government has conspicuously gone quiet on this one? Why have they gone quiet? Why have they not given us the details of that money? Why haven't they done that? Why? That is the question. It's not $1 million question. It's $1 million question that we have. Why has the UPND, the government that has vowed to fight corruption, Hakainde Hichilema has been talking about fighting corruption from the word go. And they are determined to fight corruption. How come on this one they let Faith go? Simply because she surrendered her house and surrendered, the money. Do you think it is making sense to you? Do you think it is making sense to you? Anyway, now, here is the story. So the story is that, what I know is this. Political parties are sponsored by various organizations and individuals. Political parties are sponsored by various organizations, businessmen, and so on and so forth. Now, these businessmen, they give big monies to these political parties. They give big monies to these political parties. And if there is any way, the best way to escape money laundering is through sponsoring political parties. This is why some of you who celebrated that Bill 10 was shot down, some of the things which were there, like myself, why I supported the Bill 10, is the fact that there was a clause in there which would have compelled political party to declare where they get the money. At the moment in this country, there is no law that prohibits any political party from getting money from anywhere. It doesn't matter how much. It doesn't matter. political parties can receive so much money from anywhere, especially from some of these people, some of the businessmen who are interested in Zambia's estate. They give so much money. Those choppers you see, I always talk about those choppers because those choppers are very expensive. Those choppers you see, they are paid for by big business people. These big business people, they don't give 100,000 kwacha, 10,000 kwacha, 1 million. They give sometimes even in billions. They give sometimes even in billions to make a political party succeed. And once the political party succeeds, then they come to claim their interests. And these political parties, many political parties, particularly the UPND and the PF, cannot run away from this pact. Actually, not just PF. There is now even Socialist Party. There is even DP. DP, they are busy fighting over donations. Right now, DP, they are fighting. Mostly it's about donations. Because they believe that Hari Kalaba got money which he did not declare to other members. Indeed, political parties receive a lot of funding. And sometimes the president of a political party will be receiving that money and he would not even declare it to members. This is what creates a problem, the unevenness in political activities in Zambia, because some political parties receive huge sums of money and they are able to print regalia, they are able to hire vehicles, buy vehicles, and so on and so forth. Those political parties without funding, like my political party, we remain behind. It's not that we are bad politicians. No, it's not that we are bad politicians. Mostly it's because we don't have the resources. And sometimes the businessmen, they see that one we can compromise him. That one we cannot compromise him. If they see that you are a person that is so strong, who can turn against them or who can follow them, they will not give you money. Economic and Equity Party doesn't have money because the people that sponsor political parties have seen in Chilufatayali that Chilufatayali is a difficult guy. Chilufatayali has no loyalty. We can give him money, but tomorrow he can turn against us. That's why they don't give me money. And that's why Economic and Equity Party doesn't have money. But if I was a guy that compromises, I'm sure I would have had money. But because they know that this guy can turn against you, that's why they don't give us money. But these other political parties receive money. But you see, what these people do, these big businessmen, when they are giving money, they don't just give to one political party. Big businessmen, they don't just give to one political party. They may spread the money among the big political parties so that if any of the political parties win, they are still comfortable. But mostly this time around, we had big businessmen who were giving money to UPND, but they were also giving money to PF. Big businessmen, they were giving money to UPND, they were also giving money to PF. This is why you have seen like some of the big names. There are a number of names in this country that you talk about. There are a number of names that you know. People that you thought they had captured PF. And you were thinking that immediately UPND wins, these people will be followed, these people will be arrested. But up to today, they are still enjoying themselves. Why? It is because they were giving PF and they were giving UPND. They already bought themselves They bought their freedom. They bought their contracts already from UPND. And that is why some of these big names, you keep on talking about them on social media. Hey, this one, hey, this one, hey, this one. But you never see these people being followed because baalitula kale. Baletula, they were giving offertory to PF and they were also giving offertory to UPND. If PF had won, they would have still been comfortable. Now, UPND has won, they are still comfortable. Because they were giving both sides. They were giving ukubatula no kubatula, making sure that they are safe. So, you know, I sympathize with some of you who, you know, talk big about some of these political parties. Some of these political parties are pretty much the same. UPND and PF, they are pretty much the same. UPND and PF are pretty much the same. The only difference that we have is really that when you look at Hakainde Hichilema and President Edgar Lungu, there is a difference. These two leaders, they are different in character and in personality. They are different. But when you talk about the politics, it's pretty much the same. The politics of the UPND and the PF is pretty much the same. Pretty much the same. Then what was happening in PF has already started happening in UPND. What was happening in PF has already started happening. You are talking about PF being captured by certain businessmen. I can assure you that those businessmen who you were saying they have captured PF, they have already captured UPND. They have already captured it. And I can guarantee you that most of those people that you think, I don't want to mention names. And unfortunately, some of them were even ministers. Some of them were even ministers, but they were businessmen. You know, we have people who became ministers in the PF because of the money that they gave to PF, to PF. And this time around, PF is not in power. Those people who were businessmen and ministers, they have already moved to UPND, sponsoring UPND in the same way that they were sponsoring PF. Some of them, of course, they may be not appointed, they may not cross, but they are businessmen. They are businessmen. So this is a problem that we have in our country. And this is where the Faith Musonda story comes in. That money which Faith had, that money was indeed meant to go to the PF. That money was not money that was stolen. That money came from some big businessmen. Some business conglomerate or some business people of foreign whatever origin. They are the ones that gave that money to Faith. Faith was connected to PF. And of course, sometimes these big business people, they don't take the money themselves. They give they give some agents or some go-betweens. Faith was a go-between. She was given that money to take to PF. But at the same time, that money which was going to PF, at the same time, the same business people, they also gave money to UPND. Have you heard me? That money which Faith had was not money which was not stolen money. It was legitimate money coming from some big business people. Business people who were sponsoring PF and UPND. But for PF, they used Faith to take that money to PF. But they also gave money. They also gave money to UPND. So when that money was found with Faith, and Faith disclosed who gave her the money. UPND came to find out that actually these people who gave money to Faith to take to PF had also given them money. They had also given them money. So what do? Mutonton Kanyefe, let's just stop for a while. Here is the government of UPND. They are pursuing Faith, and Faith tells them to say, oh, okay, this money came from these people. Okay? When they asked those people, they said, yes, we gave them. We are the ones who gave that money. But we also gave you the money. We also gave you the money for campaigns. We also gave you the money for campaigns. So, now, if you really think of it, what can the UPND do? Do you think they can prosecute Faith? Or do you think they would come out and tell you the story to say, no, this money came from so and so and so? When so and so and so, that person also gave them the money. Because they would also come out and imagine who is going to lose more between the PF, which is already out of power, and UPND, which is in power now. Let's just see, for argument's sake. For argument's sake, he says, no, this money came from, I don't know, let's just say I can abuse my GBM because it's my brother. Let's imagine that money came from GBM. Faith said, no, I got the money from GBM. You go and ask GBM. GBM says, yes, it's me who gave her the money. It was for campaign. But I also gave you. Do you think the UPND will come out to say, oh, no, that money came from GBM when they had also received? This is why you have seen they have gone quiet. And this is my story. If there is a story contrary to what I've told you here, let them come out. They have failed to come out because the money, number one, is legitimate. It is money coming from some business. Faith did not steal that money. Faith was just a go-between. She was just a go-between. She was collecting the money and taking it to the PF. Along the way, the money was intercepted. The hula baloo was made. Faith, hey, what? But at the end of the day, they only came to find that the person that gave Faith money had also given money to UPND. Both are beneficiary of the same source. Because this is what businessmen do. This is why you see those businessmen that you talk about have not been followed. Because when they were offering, they offered to UPND, they also offered to PF. And that is how the story of Faith Musonda has gone quiet. Faith Musonda cannot be taken to court. She didn't steal the money. There are people who gave her the money, and they are there. But if government discloses these people, these people will also disclose what they gave to UPND. So this is why the case is finished. They can't do anything, and you won't hear anything. The case is closed. It's closed as we speak. But Faith Musonda is not a criminal. She's not a convict. She's just at the transporter. That's what Faith Musonda is. Faith Musonda is a transporter. And kuyu PND, na kwena kwa liwa transporter. And I can disclose to you one thing actually. I can disclose to you something. There are some people, there are some names in UPND who you are mentioning. Hey, this one. Why is Bad not appointing him? Why is Bad not appointing him? Why Bad is not appointing him? There is someone, UPND, who went to KCM to solicit for money. I won't mention the name, but this person knows himself. And I'm saying this so that he can shut up Instead of, because he's busy talking, nobody has left me, I suffered. But he knows, I want him to know that I have information over how he went to KCM looking for money. And the body heard about it, and that's why he's not being appointed. Body heard about it, and that's why he's not being appointed. So this is the situation. Some of the people that you want to be arrested or to be followed, they will not be followed because they were offering double. Solution to this is to bring in a law that will compel political parties to declare where they are getting the money. This is the solution. Political parties must come to a point where they declare where they are getting the money. Because really, at the end of the day, we will have the same people, the same people who are getting contracts from government during the time of PF. They are the same people that will be getting contracts from government because they have already been making offerings. If you're quiet. So why seize the house? Of course they seize the house. This is just what do you call? This is just a smoke screen. This is just smoke screen. They have discussed this. I'm sure those big guys who gave her money, I mean, they're going to buy Faith a house, I'm sure. One or the other, Faith didn't lose that house. I'm sure that house will be given to her in another way. I'm sure it will be given. There is nothing like what? It's just smoke screen. It's just PR. They have forfeited the money and they have forfeited the house. It's nothing. That money was not stolen. That money came from the bank, genuinely, by big businessmen who withdrew it, gave it to PF. But they also withdrew similar amounts and gave to UPND. And UPND cannot talk about it anymore. That's why they have gone quiet. Area Shidonami ever. Bye.